Good morning, Reborn Mommies and Daddies. It's Emily from Doe Deer Nursery here. And I posted a picture on Instagram a little while ago saying that I had a bit of free time this morning and was in the mood to make a video but wasn't sure what to do. And my friend Bella suggested that I do a video talking about how I got into reborns and reborning and where I see it going from here. And I thought that was a really great idea. So I thought I would go ahead and do that while simultaneously changing little Miss Hattie. I just changed her yesterday, but if you watch that video, you'll know that I talked about working on strengthening my bond with her because I have decided to keep her. So I feel like changing her would be a nice little way to do that. So anyway, let's just get right to it. So although I'd say I've only really been involved in the Reborn community for maybe about a year, I've known about and been interested in the Reborn community for quite a bit longer. I guess it goes back, all the way to when I was a little girl. I've always loved dolls. I've always loved baby dolls and kind of realistic looking baby dolls. And when I was about, I'd say 10 maybe, I got a beautiful Lee Middleton doll named Buttercup, and I just loved her. And at the time, to me, that was just like the height of baby doll realism. I just thought she was incredible. And so I had her for several years. She got lots of love and attention, and as I'm sure all doll collectors know, with that comes some wear and tear. I was also young too, so I didn't really, know how to care for a doll the way I now do with reborns. But yeah, so naturally she, some of her paint rubbed off, her hair started to get a little wonky. So I started looking into doll restoration online, and that's how I found Reborn dolls and the Reborn community. And this would have been, like at least 10 years ago. So the Reborn community maybe wasn't quite as big or popular as it is now. Or maybe I just simply wasn't as knowledgeable because I was young and I didn't take the time probably to do research like I would now as an adult. But yeah, so I did find an artist. I saw pictures of her work online and I contacted her about restoring or reborning my Lee Middleton doll to see if that was doable. And she said it absolutely was. And that, for a fee, I could send it to her. She'd reborn her. It would be wonderful. She'd send me lots of progress pictures. And I was so excited. I'd saved up my, babysitting money from, the small job I had at the time. And it wasn't a lot, looking back now, it wasn't a lot. But to me at the time, it was a lot of money. So anyway, time went by. I finished paying for her. She finished the work. I remember I never really got a lot of progress photos, and she kept saying, oh, I want it to be a surprise. You can pick the hair color, the eye color, whatever, but I want it to be a big surprise when she gets home, what she looks like. And I remember so well the day she came home. My brother was home. My mom wasn't home from work yet, so just my brother and I opening her. And when I opened the box, I flipped out. Her painting was just atrocious, honestly. She looked like, this sounds very rude, I don't mean it that way, but she looked like a baby burn victim. It was just, it was very, it looked terrible. I actually still have the doll to this day tucked away somewhere, in the hopes that maybe one day I could fix her. Ultimately, I did end up, many, many years later, as an adult, finding the same Lee Middleton doll for sale online, and I did purchase her as kind of this, it might sound silly, but this sort of like childhood redemption of getting my favorite doll back again, And I'm really happy I did that, because even though I don't really, play with her or interact with her the same way I do with my reborns, it's just nice to know that I have kind of my favorite childhood doll back that I can one day pass down to my kids. But anyway, that's kind of, the long-winded version. So that sort of actually put me off the Reborn community, and I just kind of dropped it. I wasn't involved, I was so disappointed with my experience that I just kind of completely let dolls go for the next 10 years or so. But I still kind of occasionally, she's got a little speck of dirt on her face, still occasionally would watch like Reborn YouTube videos or look at Reborn artists' work online, kind of just when I came across it on the internet. But yeah, so then how I got back into the Reborn community is kind of its own little story. So anyway, Hattie's obviously already dressed now, so I thought I'd just sit here and tell you the rest of my story. But yeah, so I'm honestly not entirely sure what it was that sparked me to kind of get back into Reborns and the Reborn community. I think I just started kind of watching Reborn YouTube videos with more frequency, started looking at artists online, and just became kind of more and more interested as I looked at it more. And one day I just decided to completely pull the trigger. I had started looking at Reborn accounts on Instagram, and I found an artist who I actually still follow. Her name's Amber Griffin, and she had a beautiful junior kit baby girl for sale. And I just said, you know what, I want this for myself. I want to just try it, see what I think. So I bought her, and she came home a few weeks later, and I was so thrilled, honestly. I've since sold her, she's gone to another Reborn mommy, but I just loved her so much. It gave me so much joy and kind of comfort for my anxiety and a sense of, kind of reclaiming this childhood sort of love and fun and hobby that I felt I was supposed to grow out of, but I just never did. So I was just super happy with it. And I did end up buying a couple more Reborns, including little Miss Hattie here, who I bought from my friend Shanine. She's the only personal collection doll I've since kept, and I do plan on keeping her for a long while. But yeah, so that was kind of me getting started, getting back into the Reborn community. And then as I, just started kind of perusing more, I decided I wanted to try actually reborning the dolls myself. I've always been a very artistic person. I went to a lot of art programs and things as, a younger kid. And kind of a similar thing where it was a passion of mine or something I really enjoyed and pursued a lot, and then sort of dropped it as I moved into adulthood, just decided I wasn't interested in it anymore. But yeah, this sort of the same way Reborns re-sparked kind of my love for dolls, it also re-sparked my love for artistry. And so I bought the Bountiful Baby kind of Reborn starter kit and, watched tutorials online and just went for it. And my first doll, honestly, for a first doll, I was pretty happy with it. I was pretty proud of myself. Looking back, it's kind of hilarious to see how much I've changed and grown as an artist since then, but it was a great first start. And I just kind of became addicted. It was fun and relaxing and fulfilling and productive. And when I made my first Reborn doll sale, I just thought, this is so fun. It's not something I'm going to do full time. I'm going to continue to work. But what a fun way to have a hobby that, can make a little bit of money and can essentially pay for itself, rather than a hobby that becomes, a huge expense. So that's really how I started becoming a Reborn artist, and that would have been in May of 2015, so it hasn't even been a full year since I started reborning. So as for where I see things going from here, I would say the biggest thing for me is just to continue learning and growing as an artist. Being part of the Reborn community, I see just beautiful pieces of work every day. I see on Instagram and Facebook, I see other artists, just making beautiful, beautiful pieces of artwork, beautiful baby dolls. And yeah, where I see this going is just to continue to learn and grow. I mean, I feel like I've improved so much since my first Reborn doll back in May. And I feel that if I just keep being open to new techniques and being open to being taught by more experienced artists, that I can just become an even better, version of myself as an artist. And yeah, so that's really where I see it going from here. Is I don't want to make it a full-time job, because I've done that before in the past, where I took a passion or a hobby of mine and made it a full-time thing, and ended up kind of becoming burnt out really quickly. So I don't want to do that with this hobby. I want it to continue to be exactly that, a hobby and fun, and when I have time and when I feel in the mood for it. I will continue to take custom orders, just not more than I feel that I can handle at a given time, in addition to my regular work and online, college education. But yeah, I just hope to become a better artist, become, maybe a bit more familiar with people in the community, continue to make new wonderful friends that I've made so far. I'm so grateful to everyone I've met who's been so kind and supportive and friendly, and taking a hobby that I once felt embarrassed of, or that I was supposed to grow out of and never did, and that there was something wrong with me for that, and showing me that it's perfectly okay, and whatever makes me happy and calm and relaxed and lets me express myself and my creativity, that's a wonderful thing. And so truly it's been through the Reborn community that I've started to learn that and become more comfortable and confident within myself. So thank you to all my sweet friends who I've met through this experience so far. But yeah, anyway, I hope this video wasn't too long and rambling. I just thought it was a really great idea. I'd love any other Reborn artists or collectors, if you watch this video and feel inspired to do something similar, I would love, love, love to see. I'd love to hear your stories about Reborn dolls and the community and how you got into it and what it's done for you. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Oh, I knocked her little sock off right at the end. That's funny. Okay, bye-bye.